Welcome back, traders. Have you ever had one of those days where everything starts perfectly? You review your strategy. You mark your levels. You define your risk. You know exactly what you're waiting for. The plan is clear. The rules are simple. And for a while, everything feels under control. Then a few hours later, something changes. You take a trade you shouldn't take. You ignore a warning sign. You move a stop loss. You convince yourself that a mediocre setup is actually a good one. And by the end of the session, you're staring at your screen asking the same question millions of traders have asked before. What happened? You knew the rules. You knew the setup wasn't there. You knew exactly what you should have done. Yet somehow, you did the opposite. Most traders blame discipline. Some blame greed. Others blame fear. But what if the real problem isn't psychological? What if it's biological? Because your brain does not perform at the same level all day. Your focus changes. Your patience changes. Your emotional control changes. And your ability to follow a trading plan changes too. The science behind this is called chronobiology. And understanding it may completely change how you think about trading psychology. Many traders believe discipline is a personality trait. They think disciplined traders stay disciplined all the time. And undisciplined traders stay undisciplined all the time. But that's not how the brain works. Discipline fluctuates. Just like energy. Think about the best trading day you've ever had. The day when everything felt easy. You were patient, calm, focused. You followed your rules without forcing yourself. Now think about one of your worst trading days. The day you chased entries, overtraded, ignored your plan, maybe even revenge traded. Here's the uncomfortable question. Were those really two different traders? Or were they the same trader operating in two completely different biological states? Because knowledge doesn't disappear overnight. Experience doesn't disappear overnight. But mental energy does. Every human being operates according to an internal biological clock. This clock influences alertness, attention, decision-making, reaction time, and emotional control. Throughout the day, your brain naturally moves through periods of higher and lower performance. There are times when your thinking is sharp, your judgment is clear, your patience is strong, and there are times when your mental resources begin to decline. The market may still be open, but your brain may no longer be operating at full capacity. Think of your brain like a high-performance computer. It doesn't run at maximum power 24 hours a day. It needs recovery. It needs rest. And when those needs are ignored, performance suffers. Unfortunately, many traders treat their minds like machines. They sleep less, stare at charts for hours, skip breaks, push through exhaustion, and then wonder why their psychology falls apart. The answer is simple. Fatigue changes the way your brain functions. And the most dangerous thing about fatigue is that it doesn't feel dangerous. You don't suddenly become unable to think. You don't receive a warning message. You don't hear an alarm telling you your judgment is compromised. Instead, fatigue works quietly. Your patience becomes slightly weaker. Your focus becomes slightly narrower. Your impulse control becomes slightly weaker. Your decision-making becomes slightly slower. Tiny changes. Almost invisible changes. Yet those tiny changes can be the difference between following your plan and destroying it. Here's the scary part. Most traders think they'll recognize fatigue when it arrives. They think they'll feel exhausted, sleepy, mentally drained. But fatigue begins affecting judgment long before it becomes obvious. You don't need to be falling asleep. You don't need to be yawning. All it takes is slightly weaker self-control, slightly less patience, slightly slower thinking. And suddenly you're making decisions that the rested version of you would never make. Fatigue doesn't announce itself. It disguises itself as confidence. The trade feels right. The risk feels smaller. The opportunity feels urgent. And that's exactly why tired traders often don't realize they're making poor decisions until after the damage is done. Research shows that even mild sleep deprivation reduces activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic, planning, self-control, risk assessment, and decision-making. At the same time, emotional regions of the brain become more active. In simple terms, logic becomes weaker. Emotion becomes stronger. For a trader, that's a dangerous combination, because your mental brake pedal starts failing. Normally, your brain tells you to wait. Wait for confirmation. Wait for your setup. Wait for the market to come to you. But when fatigue takes over, resisting impulses becomes harder. You feel the urge to trade, and instead of analyzing it, you act on it. This is one reason why so many bad trades happen later in the day. Not because traders suddenly become reckless, but because their brains lose the ability to enforce discipline. Fatigue also changes how you perceive risk. Imagine two versions of yourself looking at the exact same chart. One is fully rested. The other is mentally exhausted. The rested trader sees a mediocre setup and passes. The tired trader sees opportunity and jumps in. The chart hasn't changed. The market hasn't changed. The setup hasn't changed. Only the trader has changed. And this may be one of the most misunderstood realities in trading. Traders spend years searching for a better strategy, a better indicator, a better setup, a better entry. Yet they rarely ask whether the person executing the strategy is operating at full capacity. A professional strategy executed by an exhausted brain can produce amateur results. And many traders mistake this for a strategy problem. Think about the biggest trading mistake you've made this year. Was it really a strategy problem? Or was it a tired version of you making a decision that the rested version would never make? That question changes everything. Because many trading mistakes are not strategy failures. They're state failures. The strategy isn't broken. The trader's mental state is. And if you believe every mistake is caused by strategy, you'll spend years searching for better systems. When the real problem may be that you're trying to execute a perfectly good strategy with an exhausted brain. Professional performers understand this. Elite athletes understand it. Top performers in every field understand it. They don't rely on willpower alone. They manage sleep, recovery, energy, and environment because they know performance becomes easier when biology is working with them instead of against them. Traders should do the same. Track your sleep. Track your energy. Track your focus. Pay attention to when your best decisions happen and when your biggest mistakes happen. You may discover that your biggest edge has nothing to do with the market. It may have everything to do with your biological state. Protect your sleep. Take breaks. Move your body. Stay hydrated. And most importantly, create a fatigue rule. A rule that says, if I am tired, irritable, mentally foggy, emotionally unstable, or unable to focus, I stop trading. Treat that rule with the same respect as a stop loss. Because fatigue is a risk factor. And like every other risk factor, it must be managed. The market doesn't care how tired you are. It doesn't care if you slept 4 hours. It doesn't care if you've been staring at charts all day. It simply reflects the quality of your decisions. And the quality of your decisions depends heavily on the condition of the brain making them. That's why two traders can have the same strategy, the same knowledge, the same experience, and produce completely different results. One is trading with a clear mind. The other is trading with a fatigued one. Most traders spend years looking for an edge in the market. But sometimes the edge isn't on the chart. Sometimes the edge is protecting the mind that's reading the chart. Because success in trading isn't only about knowing what to do. It's about being mentally capable of doing it. The market doesn't punish bad intentions. It punishes poor decisions. And poor decisions become far more likely when fatigue is in control. So before searching for a better strategy, before adding another indicator, before changing another system, ask yourself a different question. Am I giving my current strategy a rested mind to work with? Because sometimes, the most profitable decision you'll make all day is getting enough sleep the night before.